This week is afternoon tea week, so what better reason to talk about one of the most charming and very British traditions. If you visit almost any home in the UK, you'll notice one thing: we love our tea. But it wasn't always that way. In fact, tea originally came from China, and in the early days it was very expensive and considered more of a medicinal drink than an everyday pleasure. Everything began to change in 1662 when King Charles II married Catherine of Braganza, a Portuguese princess. Catherine adored tea and brought the custom to the royal court. Naturally, the aristocracy copied her, and tea drinking became a fashionable pastime. By the 18th century, tea was a luxury drink, refined and elegant. Thanks to the vast imports from the British East India Company from India, tea became more affordable and began to spread beyond the upper classes. Then, in the 1840s, afternoon tea, as we know nowadays, was born. Anna, the 7th Duchess of Bedford, found herself hungry between lunch around midday and dinner served as late as 8 p.m. She asked for a tray with tea, bread and butter and some cake to be brought to her room. This simple idea became a daily habit, and soon she began inviting her friends. It wasn't long before afternoon tea turned into a social event. Ladies dressed in gowns and gloves, fine china on the table, silver teapots, delicate sandwiches, scones and pastries. Even Queen Victoria loved the custom, and we still enjoy the Victoria sponge cake, which is named after her. Today, afternoon tea is still very much a special occasion, not something British people do every day. Most Brits are more likely to have a cup of tea with a biscuit in the afternoon. But make no mistake, the love of tea is still very strong. The average Brit will drink over 100,000 cups of tea in their lifetime. We do love our tea. If you visit London, afternoon tea is worth definitely visiting a hotel, having afternoon tea, perhaps the Ritz, the Savoy, Harrods or Fortnum and Mason. It's a real British experience. So how do we make the perfect cup of tea? First of all, you need to boil fresh water in a kettle. It needs to reach 100 degrees for black tea. Then you can put some water, warm water, into your teapot to warm it and then throw it away. If you don't have a teapot, you can do it directly into your cup. Once you've done that, you can have a tea bag like this, or you can have loose tea like this. You put the tea bag or the loose tea in your teapot or in your cup. You add the water, the boiling water, and you let the tea brew for at least 2 minutes. If it's in a cup, in a pot, I would give it 3 minutes. Once it has brewed, you will remove the tea bag and add your milk. It's important that it's a very little amount of milk. So a dash of milk, we would say in English, a very small amount. Some people like to add the milk first and then the tea, especially if they are drinking tea from a teapot. So to celebrate afternoon tea week, I'm going to enjoy this lovely cup of tea and maybe get a slice of cake. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the history of tea drinking and this very British tradition. If you'd like to learn more about British culture, improve your listening skills like you have done in today's class, and refine your pronunciation, you can join me in my Make It British course. Sign-ups are open right now at a very special price. You'll find the link in the description of this video. Thank you for joining me for today's class, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys. Cheers.